Schools nowadays are very different from schools that millennials and Gen Z went to. Schools nowadays are very strict, so things you may have done when you were a kid would probably get you suspended or expelled. For example, if you got into a fight, you would probably get 2 days of out of school suspension or a week of in school suspension. Some of you might have experienced this as a kid, but now instead of telling you that you have out of school suspension or in school suspension and then sending you on your way, they yell at you, call your parents, and over exaggerate the situation while in front of you and interrogate the entire fucking class. Since I'm black, live in the South, and have been to many different schools, I've noticed the majority of white schools are either really racist, really sexist, or both. And I'm talking about race and sex because these both heavily affected my experience in school. For example, at the school that I went to for 5th grade, my ELA teacher got mad at me for calling a girl who I sat next to racist, even though her and the entire class is very racist. I was the only kid who she bullied, and I was the only black kid within a 5 foot radius of her. Plus, there were only like 3 black kids in the entire grade. Some kids would even call me the N word every day in front of the social studies/science teacher, and she did not give a fuck. Side note, I actually have to ride one of the buses from the school to get to my new school, and I swear to God, these kids are talking about joining the KKK, but they're saying it's okay because I have one black friend. Another example is at the school that I went to for 6th grade. The staff and their kids were major bitches, but the principal and the vice principal were the worst out of the staff. I have to explain this in detail because these people tried to strip away any kind of motive from my actions and said that I did it maliciously. So basically, I got into a fight with this girl who slapped me and pushed me. I told her if she did it again, I'd slap her across the face. And she did it again, so I slapped the fuck out of that hoe. But then she started crying. So my science teacher brought us to the office, and the girl started lying and said that she was playing. So I told her, what game were we playing then? And she couldn't even answer the fucking question. So my science teacher and the vice principal/the 8th grade social studies teacher started yelling at me and over exaggerating things, saying, oh, what if I took out a gun and shot Mrs. Bitch ass science teacher? Would that be okay? Yeah, I'm not even lying. They did not do any of this to the other girl, by the way. And they saw that I didn't care, so they got even more mad. But at that point, I was so tired of their bullshit that I said, can I call my mom? And I literally had to fight with them just to call my mom. The vice principal then called my mom and started lying and said that I did it for no reason with malicious intent. And after he hung up, he started yelling at me saying, oh, you can't hit girls, even though that I told him that she hit me first. The next day, the principal came to me with the same bullshit saying, oh, you can't hit girls, even though I told both of them that she hit me first. To be honest, y'all, I think the vice principal was a pedophile. But I'll talk about that in a future video. They really expect boys to allow themselves and others to be abused. Okay, to sum this up, a lot of schools in the South are allowing racism, and some are conditioning boys to be okay with being abused verbally and physically by women. Oh, and if you were wondering what we say to the cringe kids who say, we just tell them to shut up.